What's going on, everybody? It's Young Man. Today is April 1st, 2026. Today we're going to be talking about Ford Motor Company bonds, XRP, and the S&P 500. Happy April Fool's Day, everybody. Of course, we are not going to be talking about any of that. We're going to be talking about Bitcoin strategy and MetaPlanet because we're trying to get rich. We're trying to move forward and prosper. We are trying to escape the fiat debt-based Ponzi system that we exist within. And so that's what we're going to be discussing today. If you already went to go click out of the video when you heard me say XRP, come back, come back. It was a prank. We're going to get serious now. Today, the topic I'm going to be discussing is why Bitcoin is the best asset. And the short answer to this question is because Bitcoin is the best asset. It is the best because it's the best. And if you zoom out and you think about what I'm trying to say, I'm not just being lazy to answer the question. I'm really genuinely answering that question with that idea. It is the best because nothing else is better than it. And over time, nothing else will outperform it. The only thing that will possibly outperform Bitcoin is strategy and MetaPlanet. And that doesn't even count because they're just levered Bitcoin. Nothing will beat Bitcoin. Long term, it will eat everything because it's the only thing that truly has a fixed supply. There's nothing else that exists that has a fixed supply. The only things that you could think of that almost have a fixed supply would be gold and Manhattan real estate or Miami real estate, these scarce assets. But you can always build more high rises in Miami and in New York, and you can always mine more gold. So these things are not scarce. They're treated as scarce, they're used as growth assets, but they're not. And Bitcoin is. So over time, more and more people are going to find out that Bitcoin is this thing that we've all been looking for, this true store of value, something that the price has no ceiling because the demand will increase and the supply will not increase. The supply will stay fixed. In other words, the supply will go down. People will own all the Bitcoin and it's divisible down to 0.0000000000001. And so everybody in 20 years from now is going to be fighting for those decimal points and paying extremely high prices for it. So if you get your hands on a half a coin today for $30,000 or a quarter coin today for $15,000 or zero point 0.1 of a coin today for $670, or I'm sorry, for $6,700, you are going to be in very good shape. You're going to be in a good position. And I want to think about some other things that are the best at what they do. And they're the best, and we know they're the best, and it's not up for debate because they represent what they are. Whatever category we're talking about, they're synonymous with it. An example would be Michael Phelps. Michael Phelps's name is synonymous with swimmers. Like when you think of swimmers, you don't think of the second best swimmer. You think of Michael Phelps. You don't, there's no debate. Like it's not, oh, you think of people who are really good at swimming. You're not going to think of someone else. In the same way that if you think of the best crypto asset, it's not, oh, well, this guy says Ethereum, this guy says XRP. Some people say Bitcoin. No, it's everybody says Bitcoin, and if they say something else, they'd have no idea what they're talking about. That's that's what this is. And that's why it's going to eat the world because it's mathematically better than everything else. And it's going to continue to be better than everything else. And because it's better than everything else, it will become even more better than everything else. It's an interesting concept because it's so simple that you can't grasp it because it is the best because it's the best. It's this weird meta phenomena, but I think that that's what the situation is. And so as time goes on and other things underperform Bitcoin, more and more and more and more people will find out. I found out about this. I started looking into Bitcoin around the time of when FTX blew up, and I heard about Sam Bankman-Fried. I didn't know anything about anything related to financial markets or crypto, or I wasn't even interested. I was in college and I hadn't thought about money much. And then I hear about this Silicon Valley bank getting bailed out by the government. This is shortly after COVID, and I thought it was interesting. And that's when I started to kind of have Bitcoin on my radar. And then 2023, I would say, is when I started to take it seriously. And ever since then, I've been interested in it and buying it. But that's very late. It's 3 years later now, and it feels like I've been following it for a while. But Bitcoin was given to the world in 2009. So I was, what is that, 14, 15 years late to being interested in this. But in 20 years from now, there will be people having the same experience that I had, and they're just now becoming interested in it, and they will put their attention on it. And they won't be late in the grand scheme of things. There's no way to judge what late is. We don't know what the scale looks like. We don't know how long this is going to play out over, but everybody is early. It's all relative. And if you start investing in Bitcoin, you are leaving the system that is destroying your capital. And so it's going to feel like you're early no matter at what point you leave the system. I'm making these videos because I want everybody to exit the system, because the fiat debt-based Ponzi system that we live in, it has nothing for you. The more time that you spend in it, the more it takes from you. And there is an alternative. There is a money that is for the people. There is a money that is not based on corruption and printing and proof of stake and fiat nonsense. There is a system that's based on proof of work and truth and actual integrity. And it also represents property rights, and it represents freedom, and it represents the individual. So if any of that sounds like things that you value, you should go look into it. And another reason why it's going to be such a big deal is because all the people that value these things are going to be empowered by this thing that allows them to empower themselves by saving in it. And then we're going to have people who value free markets, free consciousness, free um, systems, open systems. Those people who value those things are going to be empowered and going to be wealthy. And that's going to lead to just a shift in the way things are. That might sound like hopium. That might be, you might think that I'm too optimistic about what Bitcoin will do to the world and to society. But over a long enough time horizon, this thing is going to exist. And what I'm talking about has already happened. I'm not going to be mistaken because it's already happened. It's just going to be the significance and how much we can see that play out is going to increase. And so I think it's very important that people educate themselves and people begin to save their time and their labor in the best option, because there's no second best. And so I want to keep this video short, so I won't keep rambling on. But the reason Bitcoin is the best is because it's the best. Nothing else will beat it. The reason MSTR stock is the best stock is because they're capitalized on the best asset. So That's all I'm going to say today. None of this is financial advice. I could be mistaken. Um, I appreciate everyone that's been watching my videos. I appreciate everyone that's subscribed to the channel. If there's anything that you would like to hear me talk about, just leave a comment and I will discuss it if it's something that I feel I um, am informed about. But that's going to be it. Thanks to everyone that watched.